What up, Misfits? Welcome to the Misfit Heroes podcast. My name is Chris, and together we are going on a journey. Misfits, for the longest time over the last few years, for some reason, it feels like the world has been divided. I'm recording this podcast in the United States of America, but if we're being real, when was the last time you felt united in this country? If I'm being honest, I can't remember the last time I heard the phrase, the United States of America, mentioned in conversation. It's always America or USA. And one of the most beautiful things about our country is that anyone, regardless of gender, race, religious or political views, or any other qualifier for that matter, can come together and be united and celebrate the diversities of people that are welcomed here like no other country worldwide. The path to reuniting people in this country often appears to be an arduous task. With so many topics of discussion that seem almost designed to divide us, it can be hard to even maintain a healthy, positive conversation with someone that may not agree with you. But you know what breaks all those barriers? Love. And if I'm being honest, barbecue. My guest tonight is defeating division with a simple plan of inviting all people to the barbecue and giving everyone a spot at the table. Terrance Wren is the creator of We Are Human, and he's set forth on a mission to travel the country and hold barbecues and fellowship events in various cities around the United States of America, with the goal of combating division and unrest. Everyone is welcomed and loved, regardless of race, gender, sexual orientation, views, or thought process. And people are paying attention. His TikToks have nearly 6 million likes and nearly 500,000 followers. But the path to his goal has not been an easy one. His platform has been a roller coaster ride of getting his information out there to his followers, as well as raising awareness towards his cause through social media. And I believe he is destined for greatness. We discuss the goals and outcomes from his United Barbecue and We Are Human events, data procurement and manipulation by social media companies, and how his platform is bringing hope to every city that he visits. Misfits, I really enjoyed talking to this guy. He is super passionate about what he does, and he is as real as it gets. Please welcome Terrance Wren.
Playing the Misfit Heroes podcast.
Terrance, welcome to the Misfit Heroes podcast. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, bro. How you feeling today?
I'm great, man. I'm great. I'm excited to talk to you, dude. Before we get started, I want to tell you something. I follow your TikTok and I follow your Instagram, and I'm a real big fan of yours, man. And I got to say, I like to ignite a fire in people for God, but you've been around fires recently a little bit differently. So, I mean, tell me about that. Is everything okay with your house? What's been going on, dude?
Yeah, man. Everything is good. The neighbor, she ended up having her townhouse catch on fire, and it burnt, like her whole unit is burnt up, and it ended up coming over here to our townhouse. It burnt up the back and then a little bit into my kids' room, and a lot of smoke and carbon dioxide and chemicals in the air in the house. So we had to be away from home for about 2.5, 3 weeks, and then they finally started getting things in order here and clearing it out. And we're just waiting on them to finish the kitchen now, and everything will be good at the house except the back. Of course, they have to take that roofing platform off the back and replace it. But other than that, man, we've been great. We've been blessed. A lot of our great supporters on my TikTok page pitched in to help us out. So I'm very grateful and thankful for them. So God came through for us, man. The devil tried to bring us down and stop the momentum of us spreading love, unity, and positivity. And God was like, no, not right now. So he had a whole bunch of people come in, pitch in to help us out so we can continue rotating with spreading love, man.
Well, I'm glad to hear it, man. I care about you, dude, and I'm following your Instagram, and one day you telling about the fire going on in your house, and then you go into a hotel, and then the fire department comes in the hotel. I'm like, man, you can't even catch a break.
Yeah, bro, man, I was so scared too, man. I woke up. Is that a fire alarm? I'm like, no, that's not a fire alarm. I was like, no, it's not. And then like, yeah, that's the fire alarm. I'm like, man, this is crazy. And then all of a sudden the beeping just stopped and the flashing is still going. I'm like, man, I got to go outside and see what's going on. Suddenly the fire department pull up. They come inside the hotel, check around. They're like, okay, everything's all good. And they came out and cleared everything. I was like, oh my goodness, I can't catch a break for anything. We was at the Walmart too. I was at Walmart. I've never heard a Walmart fire alarm go off, bro. And suddenly I'm on the phone with my landlord talking to him, and the fire alarm in Walmart starts going off. I'm like, this is crazy. I've never heard a Walmart fire alarm.
Well, I'm glad everything's okay, man. Like I said, I think what you're doing is great. I'm really excited to talk about you. Let's introduce people a little bit to you who haven't found your page yet. So, what is We Are Human, and how did you come up with the idea for that?
We Are Human is a group where we want everybody to be involved. It doesn't matter your color, religion, sexual preference, political views. It doesn't matter anything like that. It just is wanting humans to come together with each other, to start loving each other, to start caring about each other, to look at each other as brothers and sisters, like stop judging each other, to stop discriminating against each other, to stop hating each other, to start communicating better with each other, to help our younger generations to want to succeed and do better in their lives, for people to start being role models to our younger generations. The more us as adults bicker and go back and forth with each other, have problems with each other, clash with each other, our younger generations are watching this. And every time our younger generations see what's going on with the older generation, they do even worse than what we do. They do even worse. You see it right now. My older generation, our older generation started something different. And now look at our generation of people and everybody our ages and a little younger than us and the things that they're doing. Everybody seems to want to do negative things instead of indulge in positive things. When you say that you want to do something positive, people kind of look at you like, it's kind of like weird these days. And like We Are Human is just, well, we want people to start using more positive energy than negative energy. We want people to start indulging in each other more. We want people to start coming together with each other. That's the only way we're going to get somewhere as a country, and that's the only way we're going to get better in the future. I want our children to actually have a chance to not deal with the same problems that we're dealing with going on right now. Like there's no reason to have problems going on right now and sitting back doing nothing about it and leaving that problem for our children to have to face, because those problems are only going to escalate and get worse. They're not going to get better just by allowing those problems to sit there. They're not going to get better by fighting negative actions with negative actions. It's only going to create even more negative actions. You have to fight negative actions with positivity. I know people don't like it. People be like, hey, look, but it just seems wrong to fight it with positivity, but it's not. Because the more you fight it with positivity, the more you fight it with love, the more hearts you get to reach. When you change your heart, you change that heart forever. You can talk to somebody and change their mind, but then somebody else can come behind you and talk to that person and change their mind right back. But if you change that heart, somebody else it's going to be hard for somebody else to come behind you and to change that heart of a person. So, We Are Human is just aimed at the heart of people. I want people to start loving better, doing better, treating each other the way we want to be treated.
Yeah, it seems like such a simple concept, just treat others as you would be treated. We learned it in kindergarten, but I don't know what's been going on the last couple of years. It's like nobody's living that.
Yeah. Yeah. As kids, we're taught to love each other. We're taught to share with each other. We're taught to care about each other. But then as adults, or even as teenagers, when we hit that teenager stage, all of a sudden it seems like we're being taught individualism, to care about yourselves, to worry about yourself, to think about your goals, to worry about your future, you know what I mean? We're taught selfishness as we get older for some reason, because they don't want us to care about each other. They don't want us to care about each other. If you don't care about somebody, you can do whatever you want to do to somebody as long as people don't care about it. If people don't care, you can do whatever you want to do and nobody's going to mind. If it doesn't affect that person directly, they're not going to care. They're going to sit back and they're going to say, hey, that doesn't involve me. That has nothing to do with me. It doesn't have anything to do with you right now. Right now. But then when it comes around and it affects you, you're going to want other people to want to care about your situation, to care about you, to come there and be there for you. So be there for other people right now while people need you too.
Yeah, for sure. I see that you're doing all these barbecues. I mean, what sort of inspired you to have that idea? I know you're in Minnesota. I mean, did you start in Minnesota, or tell me the story of how this came to pass a little bit?
Well, I started talking on TikTok after the George Floyd situation happened. You know what I mean? I was watching videos and riots was happening, and I was trying to get everybody's attention and let them know, hey, look, this isn't the way to do things. There's no need to riot. There's no need to do any of this. Nobody was paying attention. So I just started praying to God, and when I started praying, I started crying and praying and crying. I went to my front door in the hallway. I started praying and crying, and I guess that was a habit for me to go to my front door, because when I was younger, my auntie Sally, every morning before we left the house, she'd have us in the hallway by the front door to pray, and I just started praying, and I told God that we needed help, and I let him know that we was in trouble and his people needed him now. And then all of a sudden I started talking on TikTok. I started going viral. People wanted to hear what I had to say. And, people was coming in. I was letting everybody know, like, hey, look, man, God created everybody as humans. I don't even see why we hate each other, why we're judging each other. God created us all to say we're supposed to be brothers and sisters. So how can you say that you love each other if you're not going to sit here and care about each other? Political views mean nothing. None of that stuff means anything. They want to divide you. They want to hate. They want people to hate each other. They want you to bleed just because you don't agree with somebody else. You can't get along with somebody else. And I just started speaking and talking about my emotions and feelings. And everybody was, drawing to me. They were drawing to me and just coming and coming and coming. And everybody was speaking. And suddenly I went live one day and I'm like, hey, everybody, I came up with this idea for a logo. And I had the guy put the logo together. I showed them the logo. Everybody fell in love with the logo. And then they was like, hey, can we get some merchandise? I'm like, yeah. I created merchandise and people started ordering the merchandise. So when people started ordering the merchandise, I'm like, now what am I going to do now? People order merchandise. I have funds. I'm like, I got to do something with this money. So I'm like, hey, let's come over with United Barbecue. So I was like, hey, I'm going to do the first United Barbecue in Brainerd, Minnesota, since it's closed. And I'm going to see how that goes. And then I want to just go state to state doing United Barbecues, and suddenly, it started picking up and people started getting started indulging, engaging. And we just went from there ever since July last year was the first United Barbecue. And since then, we've done 9 more United Barbecues, and we have our 11th United Barbecue in Nashville, Tennessee on the 28th of this month at Centennial Park.
That's awesome, man. I'm loving it, dude. What was the first event like? How did that inspire you a little bit to do more? I mean, what was people's reaction to it?
Oh, they was happy, man. People were happy. I mean, not everybody was happy, of course. I got my negative comments. People calling me the COON word a couple of times. I got some hateful feedback for it, but I know what God wants me to do.
Yeah.
I know what God wants me to do. So the fact that I know what God wants me to do, I would rather listen to God and do what God tells me to do rather than listen to man. I'd rather listen to God than man any day. I understand everybody has their emotions. I'm not here to shut anybody's emotions down. No, but actually I'm here to try to give people a space where they can let their emotions out freely without feeling like they're going to get disrespected because they have their emotions. It's their emotions for a reason. There's too many people going around in the world today shutting each other's emotions down. Anytime somebody speaks and says, hey, I feel this way, just because somebody else doesn't agree with the way that that person feels, they shut their emotions down and tell them, no, you can't feel that way. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. People have their emotions for a reason. They feel that way for a reason. If you care, it's up to you to try to find out why this person feels that way and try to help them not to feel that way instead of shutting them down.
You said that you got a couple haters because of this. I mean, which really surprises me for something that's so positive. You know what I mean? How do you handle people like that? How do you flex on them with some positivity?
I just hit them back with even more positivity. I mean, it hurts, bro. Don't ever think it don't hurt, because it hurts. I don't think a lot of people don't see the pain that happens when you go into this, because when I want people to see the positive so much, I don't take the time to talk to them about the negative that I receive all the time. You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't know the negative that's attached to it. But I know in the end, it's all worth it. It's all worth it. You see what I mean? It takes discipline to succeed. It takes discipline to succeed. See, if I allow somebody's negative actions or negative words to come into my life and interrupt what I'm doing, that means I never believed in what I said in the first place. I told people I'm here to stay and I'm going to do this until my last breath. And that's what I mean, bro. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to slow down. People can throw negative things at me all day long, but I live in positivity. God's going to soak that negativity up that you sent at me. He's going to eat it up and keep showing me, Terrance, you can continue going. Don't even worry about this negativity. That's why anytime negative energy has been coming in my life, I've been able to, I'll dwell on it for like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, like a day or two maybe. And all of a sudden it'll be gone, because God will come in and remove that stress and remove that negative energy right out of my life so I can continue going in positive energy. And he's surrounded me with a whole bunch of loving people, bro. Like if you go through my TikTok and the people that you see that's constantly commenting and stuff like that and supporting the page, those are people that genuinely love me, bro. When they come in and they show me that they love me, and that makes it even easier to continue in positivity when people are showing you that they care as well. And that's why I'm telling them the same love that y'all show me, the same positive energy y'all show me. If y'all turn that around and y'all give that to everybody else in the world, there's no reason why everybody shouldn't be happy. God put billions of people here not to feel cluttered, but to feel loved. There's no reason why we should have one person on this earth that feels unloved when we have billions of people on this earth that we was put here to work together with each other, to live together with each other. On this earth, it's like living in our country, especially, it's like living in one big house. It's like living in one big house. And if you're not getting along with people in your house, how can your house continue to run without destroying itself? If everybody in your house is clashing with each other and going back and forth with each other, that house is going to crumble. Your house, you're gonna put holes in your wall. You're going to damage your furniture. You're going to damage your TVs. You're going to damage things around your home. That's the same thing that's happening in our country. We're not getting along with each other. We're not caring about each other. We're not saying, hey, we got problems in our house. Let's sit down and let's work through these problems. People are rather focused on the problems 24 hours a day than to take time to focus on solutions. How can things get better? How can we get better? And a lot of people want to be 100% right. You can't be 100% right when you're trying to get to solutions. You have to be willing to get 50% right, 50% wrong. Keep that open mind, because you might not have all the answers. You might be missing something, and somebody else might be able to come in and give you that missing piece, and it might just work for everybody. We don't know until we give it a try.
Yeah. I love your energy, man.
Sorry, I talk a lot.
No, you're good, bro. I love it. I love it. Keep doing it. Hey, so I want to say this. It seems like over the last few years, one of the things that I love about what you're doing is it's anybody can come to the table. Anybody. It doesn't matter your views. It doesn't matter what you think about anything. But it seems like over the last few years, there's always these topics of discussion that sort of, they're just designed to divide us. Last year it seemed to be the presidency and what you felt about politically, left or right, whatever. And then this year it appears to be the vaccine. Oh, you don't have a vaccine, you do have the vaccine, and everybody's sort of affecting about that. And I want to say that your social media, everything that I've seen is just so refreshing. It is like lemonade on a hot summer day, dude. And I really got to say, please keep doing it. But I noticed that, once the election was over last year, and it seemed like the buzzword was unity. Everything was, oh, we got to come together, we got to do this. When you've heard nothing but the last 4 years of people saying stuff like, oh, that's not my president or something like that. And then to see you come in and you're actually doing it, you're living it. You're living that unity, you're walking the walk, and it's very inspiring, dude. Have you had anybody jump in and sort of start helping you with that inspiration?
Yes, I've had a lot of people that jumped in that helped me with it. There's a guy, the real C-Mac from Seattle, that reached out to me. He's out there passing out bags to the homeless. He reached out to me, said, hey, bro, man, I've seen a lot of your videos over time, and I've always been encouraged to do what you do, but he was like, I was hesitant. And then I finally seen one of your videos. I can't remember exactly which video he said, and he described the video perfectly to me. And he was like, man, I was so moved by that video. I had no choice but to reach out to you and say, bro, I want to get involved. So I allowed him to get involved, and he's out there in Seattle getting a lot of stuff together for the homeless. He's been passing out bags, and he's trying to bring us out there to Seattle so we can do a united barbecue out there, as well as go around the city and protest and letting everybody know to start loving each other. So a different type of protest, a protest on love, unity, and nothing but positivity. So to encourage people and try to motivate people to start caring about each other, to care about their city, to start caring, because people will not take care of anything if they're not even caring. People have to care in order to to get Seattle back together, in order to get Portland especially back together. The people in the city have to start caring, and they got to start working together with each other. This guy Stephen, Irish Dad, one on TikTok, he's been absolutely amazing from the beginning of doing United Barbecue and We Are Human. He's been right there supporting. Zuckery Official, he's been right there supporting. POSM Lady, she's been supporting. Coach Mod P. I mean, there's been a lot of great people. Becca, Sasquatch, and there's a lot of great people that's been supportive. Chad, especially Chad. Chad is super, super awesome. He's down in Tennessee, and I hope he's at the United Barbecue in Nashville this month. It's a lot of people, man.
I want to talk about Portland and Seattle because you brought that up, and it's got a lot of interesting things going on with your social media behind that. But before we get started talking about that, Portland and Seattle, they have one of the highest suicide rates in the country right now, and there's just a lot of negativity going on around that area in particular, particularly with the city of Portland and the city of Seattle, both of those cities. And you know, I want to see. I noticed some things happening between yours and a couple other people's social media when you just mentioned the words Portland and Seattle in your TikToks, for example. Can you tell me about how that's been affecting your social media influence with just regarding those two cities?
Oh yeah, man. The moment I started talking about Portland and Seattle, my views dropped drastically. They won't let those videos circulate as if they don't want to allow me to go out to Portland and Seattle to help out. Like they slowed the views down. They don't send them to my followers or supporters because they know the videos will boost up if the real followers and supporters see the videos. My GoFundMe, I made the GoFundMe. It went active. Then all of a sudden, I noticed it disappeared. There was no email or anything telling me that there was anything wrong with my GoFundMe. So then I tried to edit another GoFundMe of mine and change it to Help Portland. They wouldn't allow me to put Help Portland. So then I changed it to United Barbecue Portland. They allowed me to put it. And then I put the GoFundMe active, and that one disappeared. So I reached out to GoFundMe and I asked them what happened to the GoFundMe that I'm trying to do for Portland and Seattle. They finally reached back out to me and told me, oh, we fixed the problem, and they put it back up. So then they put the GoFundMe back up for Portland. But I have a feeling that if I wouldn't have said anything about the GoFundMe, they wouldn't have even put it back up or anything, that they were just trying to have it wiped off. They didn't want me to actually raise the funds for Portland or Seattle to go out there and help. But Portland and Seattle are the two biggest cities in our country right now that need the love, that need the positivity, that needs the unity. And for our nation to say, united we stand, divided we fall, and then to say, hey, I don't care about what's going on in Portland and Seattle, that means you don't care about the words united we stand, divided we fall, because Seattle and Portland are a part of our nation. And there's no reason why we should just say, hey, we don't care. It's like, what are we doing here? We are human. I'm not just doing these barbecues just to go to cities and states and just have a great time. Yes, we want to have a great time, but we want to change things in our nation. And right now, Portland and Seattle needs the biggest change in our nation. And we need our nation to stand behind Portland and Seattle to be able to show them, hey, look, you're not a lost cause. Your city's not a lost cause. Yes, there's some people that wanted things to be the way that it is in Portland. But then you got to think about all of those many lives that does not want this in Portland. Then you got to think about Vancouver, Washington, that's right on the border of Portland that's been affected by it. Not only that, the problems in Portland are spreading to Spokane, Washington, Seattle, Washington, and another area in Portland, I guarantee you, is feeling the same effects. And it's just going to keep constantly spread across our nation. It's going to spread across our nation. It's not going to get better until we as the people start caring. We have officials out there in Portland. What are they doing? We have officials out there in Seattle. What are they doing? They're not doing much. And if they are doing much, they ain't doing enough. Then obviously they need help to help Portland and Seattle. And the only way I see us getting a change in Portland and Seattle is if our nation show Portland and Seattle, look, we care about you. Y'all are not alone. I know I talk a lot. I'm sorry. I can't keep my answer short, man. I'm the worst.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
I'm the worst, man.
Well, so I mean, I know there's a ton of stuff going on there. I know that they had the city with where they locked down an entire part of the city. It was a portion of the city where there wasn't any law enforcement. There wasn't any. It was like your own sort of separate world that they were trying to create. And exactly what you're talking about, you have to come together as an entire community, not just a certain group of citizens of that community, in order to stay afloat. I mean, what other types of things have you seen that we haven't noticed in the media with Portland and Seattle? I know you've been in touch with a lot of people in that area.
A friend of mine that I met through TikTok, he was at the last Portland United Barbecue. His name is Jesse. He go by the name I Got Nerve 1 on TikTok. And I talked to him on the phone the other day, and he was like, man, I was passing by this construction site, and written on the construction site in spray paint was kill all whites. So, there's spray paint up there saying kill all whites. So there's a lot of hate going on in Portland for one. Like, you know what I mean? And then you have this hate group, the Loyal White Knights, that's going around passing out flyers trying to recruit people. So you have people putting up spray paint saying kill all whites, and then you got a KKK group that's going around trying to recruit people to their organization. See, putting up signs saying kill all whites is not going to do anything but help people get recruited to that hateful organization. Don't allow your emotions to control your reactions. A lot of people are out there just reacting and doing things because they're ready to lash out. People need to keep their emotions in check. They need to start understanding that your emotions can cause an even bigger problem without you even knowing. And then you wouldn't want nobody to go up saying, kill all blacks, kill all Latinos, kill all Mexicans, kill all natives. You don't want anybody doing that. So why would you turn around and do it to somebody else? That's why we're living in a true era of we have to truly start treating people the way we want to be treated. People have to start doing it. Somebody has to get up and say, well, you know what? I understand that somebody treated me like this before. I understand that somebody said this to me, but I'm going to start treating this person the way that I want to be treated. I'm going to let everything else that didn't happen, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to forget it, but I'm not going to be angry about it anymore. I'm not going to be hurt by it anymore. I'm not going to be mad by it anymore. What I'm going to do is want to move forward for the future. So since I want to move forward for the future, it's best for me to swallow my pride right quick and say, you know what? For the better of the future of our children, I want to do things better. So I'm going to start loving you. You start loving me because I want to be loved by you and I want you to be loved by me. I want you to respect me because I want to respect you. You know what I mean? I want you to speak to me when I see you because I want you to speak to me when you see me. I'm going to speak. I'm going to speak every time that I see you, and I want you to speak to me because I don't want you to feel like, hey, I don't like you. I don't engage in you. I don't indulge in you. When you leave room for assumptions, people can think whatever they want to think. If you're not telling anybody I care about you, if you're not telling anybody I love you, if you're not making anybody feel welcoming, you're leaving room for assumption. If I come over to your house with a friend of yours and they introduce me to you, or even if they don't introduce me to you, but if I come over to your house with a friend and you don't speak to me when I come into your home, but you speak to my friend, you offer my friend a seat, you don't offer me a seat, you don't even engage in me, you're leaving room for assumption for me to believe this person doesn't even want to be around me. They don't want me in their presence. They don't want to get to know me. They don't want me in their company or anything. It's the same thing as when you walk into a grocery store. When you walk into a grocery store and then there's plenty of people in there, you see them saying hi to everybody else, but then they stop and don't say anything to you. Then you get to wonder like, hey, do you want me even in this store? People have to start being friendlier with each other. Hey, how are you doing? That way you don't leave room for assumption for somebody to just believe you don't want to engage in them. Maybe you hate them. Maybe you dislike them because you met somebody else and that person gave you a bad vibe. You don't want to leave room for assumptions. I hate leaving room for assumptions. I don't want nobody to just assume something about me. So I'd rather people know how I feel. I'd rather you know how I feel.
Yeah, man. Well, it definitely comes through clear to me, when we really just we got to start judging people by their actions and their character versus what they're saying online or what they're saying in person even. We got to start loving people for who they are just right at the core of it. I love that, man. I love it. Keep doing that. I don't want to spread too far away from the Seattle and Portland thing because there's a little bit of meat there with the social media aspect of it. A lot of people have heard the term shadow banning recently on social media, and it seems like you have lived it firsthand. I want to know.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know how did you see that was happening, and what activity did you notice? I mean, what exactly coming firsthand from somebody that's been through this? What sort of happened with your platform?
Oh man, they don't even allow me. If you do the maths on the views that I get on my videos, they don't even allow me to reach 1% of my followers. They don't even allow me to reach 1% of my followers with my videos when I talk about Portland. If I do a comedy video, they'll allow that video to circulate. If I do a video that can cause somebody to take it negatively and it can do some type of division, they'll circulate that video. You know what I mean? If I do anything that's just basically strictly on love, unity, and positivity, just strictly bringing people together, or talking about the United Barbecues, they'll block my videos. I tried to put a 2-minute video up of highlights over the year of us doing United Barbecue, and they blocked my video and said that it was dangerous acts and also integrity and authenticity. You know what I mean? So the word choices that they're using is like the words that they want to ban my account. And there's no reason to ban my account. There's no videos on my channel that does anything about dangerous acts. I don't support any dangerous acts. I don't get up and try to encourage people to do anything dangerous. Everything that I do on my channel is to spread love, unity, and positivity. If there's a altercation that I see people constantly going back and forth on, I'm the type of person that'll get involved and say, hey, I understand both persons' points, and my point of view is this, and it's okay for y'all to agree to disagree, but continue to engage with each other, communicate with each other. You don't have to disrespect each other to get your points across, and you don't have to hate each other just because you don't agree with each other. Y'all might not agree on this situation, but y'all might agree on plenty others. So, move on to the next situation. Don't let your life just sit on that one. And TikTok lower my views. They don't circulate them to my followers. Like my followers on my page, they don't circulate to them. They take followers away from my page. Many of people told me that they've had to refollow me 5, 6 times, and they've never unfollowed me one time. So TikTok will remove them from my page as if they don't want them to see my content.
Yeah, I mean, the term shadow banning in particular, for people that don't know what we're talking about, for example, I went to go look for Terrance's videos yesterday, and I actually typed in his name specifically. So only his stuff should have popped up. And his name, when I typed it in, normally it should pop right up with the first thing. I mean, this is obviously the person you're looking for. And it was like the third or fourth name down that I had to find for him. I mean, something about that seems off. And the issue that I see with a lot of this stuff, particularly on TikTok, is data procurement. The idea that there is a company that is suggesting what you see when you open up this social media. Social media sort of changed the whole thing recently. It used to be Facebook, you would see only the stuff that your friends saw. But now you're starting to see this new type of social media with TikTok and Instagram and all these, where you're starting to see the people that you're paying attention to. But the people that you're paying attention to are only the people that they're suggesting for you. And there's a real issue with that because, these companies, they determine what you can and can't see. People don't see the behind the scenes of that and how that can be used to manipulate and control real world actions. Did you ever see the documentary, The Social Dilemma? It's about this, the usage of social media. It's an entire documentary, and they took all these people from all these different tech companies, Google, Facebook, Instagram, all these companies, and they're showing how they actually use the data that you put up there, the things that you like and the things that you share with people, and they're using that data to manipulate how you're actually seeing stuff on there. And I find it interesting in TikTok in particular because that's sort of the platform that you appear to be like sort of biggest on, your biggest following. And it directly affects how you're seeing that. And the thing that kind of bothers me about it is, just like we're talking about with Portland and Seattle and how you're trying to promote the positivity in there, when it doesn't align with their viewpoint of how they want to portray those cities, people aren't seeing what they're seeing. And I find it interesting, that you're sort of living that life. You're living the effects of that. So, I mean, please keep doing what you're doing. I think the only way to defeat that, like you said, is just to keep on living that positivity. You know what I mean?
Yep, and I'm gonna constantly keep going, bro. I'm not gonna stop or slow down. TikTok, any platform can try to slow me down, but I'm the type of person that if I get tired of the internet, I'm going around the country driving on my own, and I get the message around, bro. And like God will find a way. Like I get discouraged, yet I get frustrated because when it happens, you kind of be like, dang, man, now it's even more work. I got to push even harder, but the message is worth it. The message is worth it. The change that's going to come out of it is worth it. So I always remember why I do it, and that keeps me going every single time. If I ever get too stressed, too frustrated, I'll pray to God. God will always put me right back where I need to be. Or I'll pop on the internet and he'll put a video right there that needs to reach me, and that video will reach me, and I'll be like, yeah, Terrance, this video was for you. And I'm like, okay, let's keep going. And, I got my beautiful fiance, and she keeps me motivated as well. So anytime if I might be feeling down, she'd be like, no, come on, you got to keep going, man. You done got people up and motivated. You can't stop. You can't quit. This is something that you was destined to do, and I believe in you. So keep going. And I'm like, all right, let me go do a video, or let me go talk to everybody and do a live.
Well, I want you to know, you can tell when someone is real. I really believe that. And I was just watching that video the other day of you giving the $2 bills to the kids, to your neighbors. And man, waterworks, dude. You know, why are you
Yeah,
doing me
man.
like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, bro. Man, you bringing up that video, bro, that brought tears to my eyes, bro. Like, he touched my heart so much, and like, it's sad because like him and his mom, they moved the way they moved to Fargo, and so he ain't been able to reach out to me and stuff. So I've been kind of sad not being able to see him in the neighborhood, but I pray that he's doing good and he does well, and I know he's gonna turn out to be a great young man.
Well, again, I'm really excited about what you're doing. So, where are you going to be in the next coming months with the barbecues? I know you said you got Portland and Seattle, and I think Nashville as well. What exactly are you all doing in those cities coming up in the next couple months?
Well, in Nashville, I have a whole bunch of hygiene bags and little snack bags to hand out to the homeless down there, as well as we doing a United Barbecue down there in Nashville, where we just bring people together to spread love, unity, and positivity, have a good time with. I'll talk to everybody, give a little speech and everything, talk to everybody, try to reach hearts and encourage and motivate people to continue to want to love each other and spread love and unity and positivity throughout their city and open their hearts to other people. And then in Portland and Seattle is different because things are so bad in Portland and Seattle. We're going to actually go around the city. In Portland, we want to be out there for 4 days. Seattle, we're trying to do 3. In Portland, we want to go around the city. We want to be able to protest. I want to go out there where we are human signs, treat others the way you want to be treated signs, I love you signs. It doesn't matter your color, religion, sexual preference, political view signs. You know what I mean? Agree to disagree, continue loving, that type of stuff. And when we pass by each other on the road or on the streets, instead of people lashing out and yelling at each other, I want people to say, hey, how are you doing? I hope you have a blessed and wonderful day today. I love you, my brother. I love you, my sister, whatever it may be. And just spread that positivity and that love around. I want to have a group of people. If I can have as many people as I can get, even if it's just me and my fiance, we're around there doing it. And, if people come out and they come support, and a lot of people get numbers, if we get large numbers or even 50, 100, 200 people to come out there and go around the city of Portland and Seattle with us with those signs and spreading that message and spreading that positivity. The reason why it has to go around the entire cities out there is because the last time we went to Portland, as soon as we reached the city, while we were still sitting in the car, all we felt was a negative energy in the entire city of Portland. Everywhere we went in Portland, all we felt was this negative, draining energy, like this negative entity just has a hold and an attachment on Portland. So therefore, we have to go around and break that negative hold on the city. In order to do that, people have to see positive things, and they have to see it on a large scale out there. We have to be able to go out there and do a lot of positive things while we're out there in Portland in order to make that impact in Portland. And if we don't make it on this trip, we need to go back and do it again. If we don't make it on that trip, we need to go back and do it again. Portland, Seattle, those are the type of cities that we need to constantly go to until we see that change out there that everybody's talking about that they want to see. You can't just expect the first time you go out there is going to work. The second time you go out there is going to work. Oh, but me, trust me, maybe me going out there one time is and really going around that city with a protest and make an impact. We have people from Seattle that's willing to come down in Portland and help out, and we have people in Portland that's willing to go up to Seattle and help out. So we do have people that's willing to come out in the city and help us to go around protesting, spreading that message. And we also want to do a barbecue out there as well. We want it to lead up to the barbecue. So the last day in Portland is when we'll do the barbecue, and the last day in Seattle is when we'll do the barbecue. And we're trying to make it happen the last week of September or the first week of October, but we still have to raise the funds within 4 days in order for us to confirm us to be able to go out there during that time.
How can people get involved with that? I mean, how can people donate to you? And what's your goal? What do you guys need in those next 4 days?
We have merchandise at wearehumanclothingplus.com. And we also have to donate. You can go to my, if anybody knows my TikTok or on my We Are Human Facebook, the group, the We Are Human Facebook group. You can join there, and you can also see my GoFundMe that's up there, and or my Cash App is TJILLAHOOKS. Venmo is just my first and last name, Terrance, TERRANCE -WREN, and they can donate that way as well. But it'd be better if they could find my social media sites. It'll be awesome. And, they'll be able to see the links and everything. My link tree is official We Are Human, and they can find everything on my link tree as well.
Awesome, man. Well, I'll make sure to put those links into the show notes so everybody can find them. I really think people should get involved. I really think what you're doing is really needed in a lot of places, man. It's really needed. So again, please keep doing what you're doing, man. Don't get discouraged. I know you got positives, and I know you got haters out there too, but flex on the haters with the positivity, dude. I love what you're doing. Keep being you, man. I got the most important question, I think, right here. And that is you're doing barbecue, man. People are very, very particular about your barbecue. I moved down to North Carolina a couple years ago, and people are very particular about it. They will literally end family situations over barbecue. So I got to know, who's doing the cooking with these barbecues you're doing?
Me, man. I do the cooking, man. I've done the cooking at all the barbecues. When Los Angeles, Stephen kind of took over on the grilling in Los Angeles. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Dwayne, he did what, man? Dwayne, man, here go Dwayne right here in the blue. In Tulsa, Dwayne cooked these amazing ribs. His name is Dwayne Taylor 6 on TikTok. And this is Jason. Jason came to the Wichita barbecue. Dwayne, he after the Tulsa barbecue, him and his wife, they drove to the to the Wichita barbecue with us. So they drove down to come to the Wichita barbecue as well. So Jason was there. This is Jason R. Stilley. He's so awesome, him and his daughter. They came down to the barbecue. So this picture is actually from there. But Dwayne cooked in Tulsa the ribs. And then in Los Angeles, Stephen had cooked that. I don't have a picture of Stephen because he's too tall to fit into one frame. So no. I hope he sees this.
All right, so I gotta ask, man, what's your favorite of the barbecue styles? Where's your favorite there you've been?
St. Louis, man. St. Louis, man. Our barbecue is off the chain, man. I haven't had that Texas barbecue just yet because then nobody from Texas come out with their smokers like they promised. But St. Louis, it ain't nothing like some St. Louis barbecue, bro. I mean, the sauce, I don't know how to make their private sauces, but the sauce that they have and the sauce they make with the different ingredients, man, they spice them things up, man. They be so good. And the meat just fall right off the bone. It's so delicious, man. Kansas City barbecue, I heard they barbecue's pretty good too, but I haven't got the chance to try theirs out. A friend of mine did, and he was like, man, bro, St. Louis barbecue's not on nothing with Kansas City. I'm like, I got to see one day. I got to see. But Texas looked the best though. Them big slabs. You seen them videos of Texas with them big old?
No, I haven't seen those, dude.
Man, Texas got some big slabs of meat, man. I mean, when I see some Texas meat, that meat be like this. I be dang there thinking they meat bigger than me. They be eating ribs about the size of my body.
For sure. Well, I'm real excited about what you're doing. And bringing people together, it's so necessary. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are. Everybody likes barbecue. That's all I'm saying, bro. But hey, we're winding it down towards the end of the show here, and I got one question that I ask everybody at the end of every podcast, and it's one part but two questions. And the question is, what was the last goal that you completed? And what's the next goal that you want to set for yourself? Normally, when I ask people this, you get a sort of a silence for a second. People that pause, like, they're thinking about it. But it can be anything, man. We Are Human, with United Barbecue, what was the last goal that you completed? And what's the next goal that you want to set for yourself?
The last goal that I completed was yesterday. Was the last goal that I completed was to get these bags ready for the homeless down in Nashville. And also, every time that I complete task at being able to go to another city, every time that my next goal right now is to work on being able to raise these funds for Portland and Seattle and to help Portland and Seattle. That's my next goal. My next goal is to truly be able to change things out in Portland and to change things in Seattle. At least to start that momentum for things to start turning into positive energy out there, for people to start seeing nothing but positive things going around the internet from Portland saying, hey, look, everybody, these are the things going on in Portland now. It's positive energy moving out here. It's positive energy moving out here. Because I want to create hope going across our nation. A lot of people are losing hope. A lot of people are losing hope. So my goal is to give people that hope back. My goal is to get people to stop wanting to hate and clash with each other and to start to love each other. I accomplish these goals every day because every day I reach somebody new, and it's a new stepping stone every day. So I want to target each person, one by one. My main final end goal, you really want to know, bro?
Yes,
My
sir.
end goal is to want to get millions of people to go out to the White House streets and just sit there silently with each other. Different colors of everybody, different political views, different everything. Millions of people to go out to the White House streets and just sit down in silence and make a statement to say, look, this is our country and this is how we want it to be. For everybody to be together. So everybody just mixed in and millions of people just out there just sitting silently with each other. Not to say anything to the government, not to say anything, yell anything, none of that, but to just sit in silence. I feel like that'll make a major impact across our nation. I feel like that's something that can spark something across the world. That's showing people that you really want to just come together with each other. You don't want problems with it. See, if we go there and we're yelling and screaming about it and stuff, nobody's going to hear us. We sit down in silence, everybody's going to hear us. Just silence. Just those millions of people being out there together with each other will make a bigger impact than anything we could say out there.
Nice. Well, look, I really appreciate you coming on, man. I think what you're doing is fantastic. And I really want you to, again, I hope that comes true for you. I'm going to be praying for you. I know it's going to come true.
Oh, we will. We manifest these things.
You're doing great things, and you're really going to touch others in a way. The whole we got a thing on this podcast, having others over yourself, and it really comes through. It really shines through. And like I said, I know what you're doing is real. It's a beautiful thing what you're doing. So I mean, keep on keeping on, keep doing your thing. How can people, one more time, give me that social media so people can find you, and we're gonna put all that in the show notes as well. But just from your mouth, where's your social media? What's the best way to contact you?
The best way to contact me, since TikTok is yanking me around, go to the We Are Human group on Facebook. So the We Are Human group on Facebook will probably be the best way to contact me. Also, TikTok, if you do know the TikTok, is Terrance, TerranceCGBBWREN. And you can find me on all platforms with that one as well.
Fantastic. Well, Terrance, thank you again for coming on. I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy guy. I know that what you're doing, like I said, is going to change a lot of people's lives. And we're building an army, dude. We're building an army of positivity, and I want to see you succeed so well. So, Misfits, go check him out. Thank you again so much for doing this. I appreciate your time, Terrance. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down, and you have a great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother. I love you, man, and I hope you have a blessed and a wonderful night, bro.
All right, you too. Love you, bud. Well, Misfits, we did it. That's our episode. I want to thank you so much for listening, and thanks again to our sponsors. If you want to support any of our sponsors, there are affiliate links on the sponsors tab of our website at www.misfit-heroes.com. You can also find links to all of our social media there, so follow us for immediate up-to-date info about the podcast. Please, if you enjoyed this podcast and you want to help me out, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button so you're notified of new episodes as they're released, and make sure to leave a rating or review of the show on Apple Podcasts and YouTube. Truly, Misfits, I love you. Thank you so much for listening. And until the next episode, be kind, love one another, and be a hero.